Yo. Slant.
Yeah, but isn't this the unplugged version? I don't know. I think it's the unplugged version.
Alright, Power, let's go.
Hello, everyone out there in YouTube land. This is your t-shirted historian with another 10-minute Mayans. This episode of 10-minute Mayans assumes that you have seen the first video, and as a disclaimer, this review has heavy spoilers. Episode 2 is titled Escorpion, Dzec. Escorpion is Spanish for scorpion, though I find it odd that they use this word instead of the word I'm familiar with, which is alacran. Dzec is a glyph in the Mayan calendar that has no direct translation. However, it corresponds to the 5th month, which is the same as the zodiac month of Scorpio. Some sources claim Dzec means scorpion or Scorpio in the ancient Yucatec language. This episode opens with Emily's vehicle shown parked, and Emily herself, as well as her bodyguard, being held at gunpoint by Los Olvidados, one of which is the same little girl who wore the mouse mask in the previous episode. Masked rebels take Emily's child and execute the bodyguard with a bullet to the head, then drive away, Emily screaming at them in vain. Easy and Angel ride through town, meeting with Taza and Coco. They are looking for information and head to an apartment above a barber shop. Not getting an answer from the door, they enter the apartment where they comically encounter a child with an airsoft gun. Then talk to the child and leave, and there's some great acting all around in this scene. I laughed audibly when Angel remarks on the plastic gun, "Looks like a 45 Hasbro. You're lucky to be alive." Coco, who had been shot in the back of the neck a few times by the child. Scene cuts to Felipe having a morning cup of cafe and having a conversation with someone. He says a few things and stands and walks towards a shelf containing an urn. He gently lays a kiss on the urn, saying, "Te quedas cerca, mi amor." You stay close, my love. This urn contains the ashes of his dead wife. Scene shifts to the Galindo house where Emily is comforted by Dita Galindo, who is Miguel's mother. Miguel enters with a new character, Devante Cano, played by the veteran actor Tony Plana. He is the Galindo family's consejero. They discuss the stolen child and the rebels, Devante being notably cold to contrast the warmth of the Galindo family. Miguel and Emily move to the balcony to talk about how business is impacting their lives, and while doing so, nearby in the kitchen, Dita and Devante talk about Miguel. Devante expresses that Cornell University was not adequate preparation for running the cartel, the disapproval in his voice being very notable. Scene cuts to the Mayans out riding to an animal shelter. And while there's many dogs outside in the cages, they enter the building, and inside there are many Mexicans being held in the cages, hooked up to IVs and clearly suffering as they're getting some form of detoxification treatments. It's notable that Gracie, the woman who runs the shelter, is played by Puerto Rican actress and singer Nomi Ruiz. The Mayans donate money to Gracie to help out the shelter, and Coco notices one of the patients is from the Dogwood crew, a street gang whom the MC are looking for. They get Gracie to call the Dogwood crew to come pick up their member, and they arrive in a very distressed green lowrider car. I think my friend would describe it as pinche green. Mayans take off after the Dogwood crew, and the chase ensues, ending in Luis, the leader of the Dogwood crew, flipping his car. Pulling Luis out of the car, we find he was running from and avoiding the Mayans because he shoots pornography and accidentally filmed Coco's baby sister. Luis delivers the hilarious line, "You know anal pays more. Everyone knows that." Coco starts to get worked up, but he is held back as Bishop reminds Luis that Dogwood crew has always been a friend of the MC, allowing them to deal drugs and taking a cut of the money. The Mayans get some information from Luis as they leave the scene. Ruiz gets a phone call from Alvarez saying that they have a meeting with Galindo.
Welcome to the Latino Slant. Please like and comment, but subscribe to the channel.
The Mayans meet up with Galindo and his men. Easy asks Angel about Devante, and we are introduced to Galindo's main enforcer, Nestor Ositeva, played by Gino Vento, who wears his hair in a distinctive cornrow pattern. Miguel tells the Mayans about his son's kidnapping, and Easy is notably worried about Emily until Galindo tells him that she is unharmed. As the meeting breaks up, Alvarez again refers to Bishop as primo, making it more likely that the two are indeed blood relations. Easy notes that he saw the vehicle used by Los Olvidados during the chase with the Dogwood crew, his eidetic memory coming into play once again and allowing him to recall the license in passing. Angel tells Easy that he'll place a call to Adelita to find out what's going on. Nestor shows Miguel a video that was posted on a social media site. The video is a propaganda piece by Los Olvidados, and during their filming, the sound of a taco truck is heard in the back. On the video, the kilo blocks of drugs that were stolen in the previous episode are shown being tossed into a burning trash barrel. The scene shifts to a busy shopping plaza in Mexico, where Adelita and her aide walk through, the taco truck music being heard again, and the camera panning to the truck at one point, revealing the name to be El Escorpion Feliz Tacos, harkening back to the title of the episode. Flyers with Los Olvidados propaganda message are plastered everywhere in the market and laying all over the ground as Adelita walks through the scene. Back at Carniceria Reyes, Easy pulls up and walks in to talk to his father. Easy and his father have a moving scene, and J.D. Pardo holds his own convincingly with Edward James Olmos. Easy leaves the scene, and scene shifts to Galindo House, where Devante and Miguel exchange concerns about the stolen child and the rebels. Nestor informs them that they have used the music of the taco truck to track down the vendor in order to interrogate him as to his connection with the rebels. At the Mayans' business front, the scrap metal plant Romero Brothers, Coco goes to use a computer and we meet one of the Sons of Anarchy's favorite guest stars, Chucky. Coco looks up Luis's porn site and is visibly disturbed. He leaves for a meeting. Alvarez and the MC enter the dress shop, and beneath it they find Galindo torturing the taco truck vendor and his son for information on who posted the video. A heated exchange occurs between Galindo and the MC, who are opposed to Galindo's torture methods. Angel hastily volunteers Easy's information to save the vendor from further harm. Nestor accompanies them. Investigating the wrecked vehicle used by Los Olvidados during the kidnapping, Nestor drives off mysteriously. Gilly notices a few moments later that a group of dogs that are barking at Escorpion are the same ones from the animal shelter, and the Mayans ride off to get there. At the shelter, Nestor and his men are roughing up the shelter personnel. A heated standoff with guns drawn occurs between the MC and the Galindos until Alvarez tells them to put their guns away. An all-out brawl erupts between the two factions, during which time Bishop and Nestor come to an agreement to let them duke it out for a few more minutes to get it out of their systems. Back at the Galindo house, Emily and Miguel exchange words while Devante encourages Galindo to take action. He and Dita tell Miguel that his brother was kidnapped and killed when his father refused to capitulate with another cartel, and that Miguel should be willing to sacrifice his own son to strike back at the rebels. Angel and Adelita discuss the situation with the kidnapping, and Angel reveals that the two are lovers during the course of the conversation. And as they move through the plaza at night, they hear screams at the taco truck. They, along with the MC, arrive at the truck surrounded by people. The bodies of the taco truck vendor and his son, burned horribly beyond recognition, lay in the street with the Los Olvidados propaganda papers stuffed in their mouths. Easy and his father are working at night in the carniceria when Emily arrives and asks Easy for help, and the two talk about the situation. As she leaves, Easy has a flashback to the time his mother was killed and taken away in an ambulance. We close on Coco tracking down a street prostitute, and as she gets into his car, he says, "Shut the fuck up and get in the car, Mom. We gotta talk." Once again, it's another deep episode of Mayans. Lots of symbolism is built into the episode, and it won't be until later that you can go back and rewatch it and notice the subtle details. The writers have a gift for nuanced writing and small details that allude to other episodes. Likely you'll have to see it a time or two to catch them all, but you should enjoy it. It's great acting overall, and it's a good follow-up to the first episode. This has been your T-shirted historian, and if you enjoyed this 10-minute Mayans breakdown, please like and consider subscribing to my channel. Till then, adios, and take care of yourself.
Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. It's land. It's land.
Power, let's go.